Yo, it's your boy, Fly Capone, aka Chef Fly, and this is the Real Talk Podcast. And today I want to talk about hood fame Ronnie and his baby girl. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to hood fame Lil Ronnie, and rest in peace to baby girl. I want to send my condolences out to the mother and the father's family, you know what I mean, and just, out of respect. And I just want to say, we got to stop being foolish, y'all. We got to stop being foolish. And what I mean by that is this. If you know you have any type of beef, especially any type of life-threatening beef, the first thing you want to do is not have your children with you. I don't care if you feel like you letting them down. You have to think about them, man, because when them bullets start flying, they don't have no eyes. They don't give a damn no more, man, especially these YNs, man. They kill them for no reason, you know what I mean? And if you got an issue with a certain area, then it's probably best you stay away from that area, especially if you ain't ready. You know what I mean? Like I was watching No Love, Finesse Two Times brother podcast on his interview or whatever he was, and he say the man had plenty of time to defend himself. If he had some fire on him, maybe he would still be here today. You know what I mean? He may would have took a couple, but he could have gave some back and maybe made him fall back. You know what I mean? Because I was watching a few videos, and as I was watching the video, it seems that they wasn't going to stop until he was done. So to me it looked like a hit allegedly. I really don't know. But it seemed like a hit to me. It didn't seem like a natural beef, like motherfucker pull up, give you a few of them, and then they bounce. No, they wanted to make sure the man was done, and that's exactly what they did. You know what I mean? The two cars that was there, the two black cars, it seemed like they may have been there to make sure the job got done, allegedly. I'm not sure. But to me, it seemed like they was there to make sure it got done. As soon as it got done, both of them pulled off at the same time. So we never know who was in those cars, you know what I mean? And we still don't know to this day. All we know that they was there and they pulled off at the same time right after the murder happened, you know what I mean? And it seemed to me like as they were shooting, they made sure that they did not shoot those cars in no type of way, especially when he was running towards the car, running towards the fence, looked like he was getting ready to try to jump the fence or something. They never shot. At least that's what it looked like. They made sure that they went around the cars and got him. And it was sad when I was watching the video because, like I say, it looked like he may have been going for the fence, but once he got to the fence, he must have realized that he couldn't get over it, so he took off the other way, probably hoping that they would fall back or something like that. But they didn't. They made sure that the man was done. One come from this side, one come from the other side of that shed or whatever that was back there, and they didn't stop shooting until they knew that they got him good enough to make sure that he wasn't gonna make it. And it hurt my feelings, man, to see that man get chopped down like that, and I don't even know the man. Simply because I'm black, he's black, the killers are black, and we keep losing our black men to this type of nonsense, man. Rest in peace, Lil Ronnie. Rest in peace, the baby girl. I don't know if they intentionally killed the baby girl on purpose, or they just was chopping up at the car, trying to hit him, didn't realize she was in there, and she took some, in the process, you know what I mean? Either way it go, they got her, and it's a sad thing, you know what I mean? It really is, man. And they say that the baby mama allegedly may have had some insurance on this guy or some of that nature. Me personally, I would hope and pray that she wasn't that scandalous to do her baby girl like that, let alone the father of her baby girl. I would hope that she ain't that scandalous, allegedly, man. She's been seen on social media putting money to her ear and doing this and doing that. I know she had a GoFundMe, but that still doesn't mean that it couldn't have been no life insurance policy in the air. And she could have had some of his money. You know, that's his baby mama. He could have been using her for a stash spot or anything, where she could have had a lot of his money put up in her particular house or whatever the case may be. Allegedly, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like we like I said, I'm not from Houston. I'm just a blogger trying to get some information out. I don't know how y'all grieve or how she grieve or how she go about it. It just seems like to me that she's hurt, and she's just she's trying to stay strong and just grieve in a way that she really ain't set and felt it yet. Me personally, that's just what I think. I will hope that's the case. You know what I mean? Like I say, it would be a shame and real scandalous to do your baby father like that, let alone your own baby girl. That would be shady as hell. And if that was the case, then you must know the same way that he lost his life. Not saying that you will lose yours or nothing like that, but we all have to pay a price behind some of the things we do, whether it's death, jail, karma is a bad motherfucker, and it don't miss nobody. So, we all have to pay for what we do one way or another. I pray for you, baby girl. I hope that ain't the case. I hope you stay strong, and I hope you continue to stay strong for your baby girl and hood fame Ronnie. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's sad to see the man go out like that. It really is. You know what I mean? Especially when I could just reflect, like when I see the video, it hurts as a black man to see another black man get chopped down like that. I don't know what this man have done, so I'm not saying he's innocent. We never know what the case may be or what this man had done. So, I can't really speak on that aspect. All I'm speaking on is what I saw in the video, and they came and they wasn't bullshitting. They made sure that the man was he wasn't gonna make it out of that storm. They definitely put that pressure on him until they knew he wasn't gonna make it. And especially when I seen him take off running. And I'm gonna say this, man, the man was strong. Real talk. All those bullets that man took, and he still got up, took off running, then he collapsed. So the man was strong, man. He was trying to hold on. But unfortunately, he couldn't hold on. He couldn't hold on. He couldn't take all that pressure, man. Rest in peace, hood fame Ronnie. Rest in peace to baby girl. They don't have no honorable. They don't have no honor these days. They chopped that baby girl down like goddamn. I don't know if they shot up at the. I don't know if they shot the car up and didn't know she was in there. Or they said fuck it, knew she was in there and made sure she was dead just as well as was him. Word is, circulating that they knew she was in there and they made her pay a price for her father's action as well, allegedly. I don't know if that's true. That's just word that's circulating around the internet and around, different bloggers and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't like to really speak on nothing. I don't know as far as saying who did what. I'm simply just saying that, man, we got to stop being foolish as black men, as a killer, as a gangster, as a victim, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? In his case, I'm going to say that he played himself by going to a car wash that damn well you wasn't welcome in that area, especially if you ain't ready for what's coming with it. You know what I mean? You got to be ready, man. You know what I mean? So if you're going to go to a place where you got beef, especially life-threatening beef, number one, you don't want to have your children with you. Number two, you got to be ready. Because I really believe, like No Love said, if he had something on him, if he had some fire on him, maybe he could have survived that by simply letting off some, giving some back and make them retreat. Don't nobody want to get hit with no bullet. You know what I mean? Whether you shooting or you think you're a killer or not, nobody wants to get hit. So if he would have had some fire on him, maybe he could have saved himself one way or another. You know what I mean? That's just what I believe. And it's sad, man. Me personally, boy, I would have ran through the goddamn gate. For real, boy. I don't know if he was already hit when he got to the gate and just, his body wouldn't let him get over it, or he simply just realized that he couldn't get over it and took off running the other way. Unfortunately, the other way was not the way to go, and he lost his life, and that's a sad thing. And I just want to say one thing, man. Charleston White, man, I really don't know you. I had the utmost respect for you. But when you say fuck a dead baby, man, and fuck the dead, especially someone that hadn't did you nothing, to me, that's kind of disrespectful. But, like I say, I'm not from Fort Worth. I'm not from Houston. I have no understanding of how y'all go about things down there. I'm just simply a blogger trying to get some information out, man. To my young black men out there looking, if y'all looking and y'all learning, if y'all looking, then I hope y'all learning two things. First of all, being a killer is not what's up. Because guess what? When you take a life, guess what? Your life shall be taken one way or another, whether it's prison or death. Because karma is a bad motherfucker. And one thing I do know, if you're a killer, guess what? Your time coming. You know what I mean? I know a lot of killers. And I know a lot of killers that ain't here no more. Simply because they was killers. You know what I mean? And that shit it's a, like King Von said, it's a never ending game. The game don't stop until they all dead or in jail. It's all about the last man standing, and usually that's nobody. You know what I mean? Everybody must go when you playing that type of game. Rest in peace, Lil Hood Ronnie. Rest in peace, Hood fame Ronnie. Rest in peace to baby girl. It's a sad thing. I pray for your families. I pray for the families. I send my condolences. I will hope that like I say, the baby mama ain't that scandalous to do something like that to her baby daddy, let alone her baby girl. Me personally, I think that the big question is this: how did they get his location? That's the big question. Where in the fuck did they get the location from? You know what I mean? I know they got air tags, and they could have been following whoever dropped the baby girl off, and she not knowing it, you know what I mean? And that's how they found him. Or they could have simply had a tag on him, and they knew where he was at the whole time, just waiting on the right time. Me personally, I think somebody set it up. Those two black cars that was over there, to me, it seemed like they was there to make sure the job got done. And maybe who was in them black cars could have been a setup, allegedly. Maybe those two cars that's where they got the location from. Because if you pay attention to the area and the surroundings, it looked like a dry area, like ain't too much going on there. So somebody had to have a tag on this man to know where he was at that quick, whether it was a setup or they had his GPS or something. You know what I mean? It just seemed like it was too precise when it comes to knowing where he was at. Especially the way they pulled up and parked on the other side. They didn't even pull up in there like they lucked up on him. They pulled up like they already knew he was there. So somebody dropped the location. Somebody definitely dropped the location. Or they, like I said, they follow somebody. But me, the way I feel about it, I feel like somebody dropped the location and they pulled up ready. That's how it seemed like to me. And then they say that the girl, she was the getaway driver. We never know because the car had tents. We never saw who was in the car. But one thing it did look like is the one guy jumped in the car from the passenger side. So we don't know if he jumped in, climbed to the back, or jumped in and climbed over to the driver's side. We don't know. All we know is we seen them jump back in the car, both of them, when they did get in the car and they pulled off. It could have been 3 or 4 people in that car. We never know who was in there because they had tents. You know what I mean? I would hope baby girl didn't have nothing to do with it. But my thing is this: a woman ain't strong enough. If she has something to do with that, she's definitely going to tell. And if she did have something to do with it, guess what? They going to tell on her ass as well. because they not going to take that ride without saying that she was the getaway driver. So we just got to wait and see what they say when they start getting questioned and they start putting this story out. We got to see what them guys say, man. And I want to say this. I feel sorry for y'all too, young guys too, especially if y'all got paid to do it, because guess what? Y'all got caught so quick. I don't even think y'all had enough time to even get what y'all got paid to do, allegedly, if that was the case. Y'all on y'all way to do numerous of days, numerous of months, numerous of years in prison for double homicide, especially with the baby girl. And they don't play about killing kids and molesting kids and doing shit to kids in prison. So I hope that y'all can stand strong and make it through that system after doing that to that baby girl, man, let alone doing that to hood fame Lil Ronnie. And I like the hood fame Lil Ronnie's music, man. You know, he seemed like a down-to-earth guy, like a cool guy, man, laid back, but we don't know what he was into. We don't know what he had going on. So, you know what I mean? We can't say that the man is innocent. All I know is a sad thing to see another black man get gunned down like that. It's just sad, man. Like I say, I lost a lot of homeboys, man, and it's horrible, man, to see how people keep going out like that. It really is, man. Real talk. Rest in peace to baby girl. Rest in peace to Lil Ronnie. And all I want to say is, y'all, man, we got to stop being foolish. We got to start using our fucking mind. We got to start thinking. I thrive off of thinking. I overthink sometimes, yeah, but guess what? Overthinking is what keep you out of shit. When you underthink and you think shit ain't, that's when it is. So you got to always react to what you feel and what you think. Even if it ain't what you think, still take that measure, that precaution to make sure that you good. You know what I mean? If you got an issue, somebody threaten you and they tell you don't come to this a particular area, what's the reason of going to that area? Who you trying to prove something to? Especially taking your baby girl or meeting your baby girl or whatever the case may be. Me personally, it's just kind of fishy, right? That whoever brung this baby, she ends up getting gunned down right after y'all bring this baby somewhere that I ain't gonna say they knew, but is a known enemy territory. And y'all meet this man in enemy territory, gives him his daughter, and she gets unalived right with her father right after she has been turned over to him. That's sad. It's suspicious. It don't seem right. Something about this shit just don't make no sense. Like I say, I will hope that the mama ain't that scandalous to do nothing like that to her baby daddy, let alone her own child. Man, I pray that you didn't do that, allegedly, because like I say, everybody had a day. Karma don't miss nobody. Real talk. And with that being said, man, it's your boy Fly Capone, aka Chef Fly. This is the Real Talk Podcast. I want to say rest in peace to Lil Ronnie. Rest in peace to baby girl. I don't know what's going on down in Houston. I want to send love and condolences down in Houston, man. Even with Mo 3, you know what I mean? That shit was sad because I fucked with Mo 3 music. And we got to learn how to stick together, especially when it comes to this music. And we trying to make something happen. The more we stick together, the stronger we are, the farther we can get with what we trying to do. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at this, man, I'm telling you as a young black man, killing somebody ain't going to solve nothing, man. Being foolish ain't going to solve nothing. You got to use your mind. Think twice, man. You know, it's like when I was doing construction, they say think twice. What they say, measure twice, cut once. So you got to think twice. Don't let nothing make you feel like that you weak and you have to prove something to somebody and you lose your life in the process, man. Because you don't have nothing to prove to nobody by going to enemy territory, especially if you ain't going to put no work in. And you just there and you slipping and you're pimping, vacuuming and your car out. You got your baby girl in the car, knowing damn well you ain't supposed to be in that area. Number one, you ain't got no type of heat on you. That is a foolish move, man. Foolish on Hood Fame Lil Ronnie's behalf. And they say Go Yayo been, snapping out or, whatever the case may be. I would hope that he don't get out and crash out. behind some shit, but they say that it's supposed to be about some pounds that then came up missing or some shit like that allegedly, so we don't know what's going on, man. They said the man broke somebody in a dice game, or he was the best gambler in Houston, you know what I mean? Somebody robbed a dice game. So it's a few stories going out there that, we really don't know what's going on. We just hearing stories, and we may never know what's going on. But all I want to say is, y'all, you got to stay safe. You got to think. You know what I mean? You got to be a thinker out here. Learn how to use your mind. Don't be a fool. You know what I mean? Real talk. That's the worst shit you could be in the world, is a dummy, a fool that don't know how to use your mind. You have to learn how to think before you move. You know what I mean? Real talk. And with that being said, I'm your boy, Fly Capone, a.k.a. Chef Fly. This is the Real Talk Podcast. R.I.P. Hood Fame Lil Ronnie. R.I.P. Baby Girl. Much love.